Hi, I'm Joanne from 15spatulas.com, and we are making chocolate candy cane cookies. These cookies have pretty much every type of chocolate going on in them. They're so good, and they have crushed candy canes on top for a little bit of texture and a little bit of mintiness. They are one of my absolute favorites for the holiday season. So we're gonna start by whisking together our dry ingredients. I'm gonna add 5 ounces or 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then a ½ cup of cocoa powder. You want to sift it if there are lumps in it. It's annoying, but it's a must here. And then a ½ teaspoon of baking soda and a ¼ teaspoon of sea salt. I'm going to whisk that all together to combine. Now we're going to move on to the wet ingredients. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt some chocolate and butter together. I have 2/3 of a cup of bittersweet chocolate chips in here. I'm going to throw in 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we're going to microwave this in 30-second intervals, stirring each time until it's all melted and smooth. It should look really glossy and have a very luscious texture. You should want to dive into this right now. But we're gonna let this cool, set it aside for a minute and work on the rest of our wet ingredients. I'm gonna add a 1.5 cups of granulated sugar to my bowl, and we're gonna add 2 large eggs to this. 1 and 2. My husband makes fun of me because I don't do the one-handed crack, and he does it like a master, but that's okay. All right, and then a little bit of vanilla extract, about 1 teaspoon. We're gonna whisk this together just to combine it all. That looks nice and smooth. That's the texture you're looking for. We're gonna add our melted chocolate and butter right to the bowl. And you don't wanna leave any of this behind. And then we're gonna whisk that in. Ooh, I love this part. Now we're going to add our dry ingredients, which I left over there. There's a cocoa powder cloud right near my nose, and it smells so good. This is gonna get pretty thick quite quickly, so at some point you're probably gonna wanna switch to a spatula. The flour has almost disappeared into the dough. That's when you wanna stop and add a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're gonna stir that in. Sometimes I stand here and I think, should I just stop here and enjoy this bowl of chocolate cookie dough? But no. So now we're gonna portion this out, get it on our cookie tray. You wanna do about 12 per tray here. So we are going to bake these in a 325 Fahrenheit oven for 13 minutes. They look so pretty. So you can see that these have flattened out quite a bit, and they look a little bit crinkly on top, which I love. We're gonna let these cool for a little bit, and then we are going to melt some white chocolate to dip them in. I've got a cup of white chocolate chips. We're gonna melt this in the microwave in 30-second intervals, stirring each time until it's melted and smooth. So now it's time to dip our cookies. These have cooled completely, which is important. We're just gonna dunk this into the white chocolate, half of it, and then set it right back down onto the cookie sheet. It is time for our finishing touch. I have some mini candy canes in a bag here, and you want to crush these up. So you can either do this in the food processor, just grind it up there. You could chop it with a knife and do it on a board. You could put it in a bag like this. It really just depends how angry you are that day. So now I am going to sprinkle this on my chocolate. It hasn't set yet, which is important. So now is the point where you should probably let this sit for about 30 minutes or so that the chocolate can harden. But I'm not gonna do that. Let's taste. I know I have chocolate in my face right now, it's okay. So good.